All right, well, at 14 minutes past 7, we're so excited this morning at Afroworldview. We've got the future of aviation right here in our studios, and nothing gets me more excited than young African individuals who are just changing the game whatever field that they're in. Richard, Cyril and Tao will be chatting to a group of those young African aviators this morning. Rich, take it away.
Hey, Flo, thanks a lot. We have, like you said, a group of young African aviators here, and they've banded together in a bid to improve and expose and talk about the access opportunities in the sector. Now, they are young, ambitious African pilots, all under the age of 25. Now, these aviators decided to take action on the common issue that is unemployment among qualified pilots struggling to obtain gainful employment. They hope to secure private and public funding sectors that can invest in their organization and help house their skills under one company. All right, here they are in the studio, and let's put the camera on these guys. You can see they look distinguished, and they look really, really good in their uniforms. I'm going to let each of them introduce themselves because I'm going to fumble up their names. So we'll start with you, sir. What is your name?
My name is Bungee Mutibi.
Good, miss.
My name is Ndumek Oscott.
My name is Litladi Musena.
My name is Tepo Siapa.
And my name is Takato Mukhatsane.
Okay, now for the vast majority of our viewers that are watching, they know that you're pilots and you spend a lot of time in the air, right?
Yes.
All right, the first and foremost, the question is, have any of you seen, witnessed, or experienced any unidentified objects in the air? First of all, let's get that out of the way.
Unidentified, talking about
Unidentified flying
UFOs.
objects. Yeah, first of all, let's get that out of the way.
No, personally, I haven't experienced any of
Okay,
that.
and how many hours have you put into your flying?
Currently, I'm on 350 hours.
350 hours.
Yeah.
And your age?
25.
25,
Yes.
sir. What about you?
I'm currently on 73.2 hours.
73.2 hours.
Yes, and I am 21 of age.
21 years of age.
Yes.
Now, I'm going to start with you two guys. Personally, when you fly a plane, you have the responsibility of other people's lives. Okay, now you're young, you put over 700 hours. How much is needed for you to be extremely confident to drive or fly, let's say, a 747?
I think personally, for you to be comfortable in the air, it's a matter of how dedicated you want to actually, take on the job, first of all. So it doesn't matter how much experience you have. It's about executing all the drills and the exercises which you've been trained in very rigorous exercises to actually, handle that situation. So, if you're qualified to become a pilot, it means you're fully qualified to
regardless of your age.
Regardless. Your age, your experience, you should be qualified in order to land the aircraft regardless of the situation you face.
Right.
Yeah.
What was the first experience like getting up in the air?
I mean, it was amazing. Actually, to me personally, it was a dream come true. Because first day of school, usually how the system works with aviation is that you're going to do practical and theory simultaneously in order for you to have a smooth flow, And it came as a blessing, and I'm really happy about it. So, yeah.
What can you compare it to? What can you compare it to? I'm going to ask a silly question. Can you compare it to bungee jumping from the highest point?
No. Flying is a different thing. Bungee jumping, you're going down. When you're flying, you're there at that level. You're not going down. When you go down, obviously you're going to be scared. You're not sure what's going to happen. But now when you're flying, you are just in the air. You can see everything. Bungee jumping, you're going down. Your eyes might even be closed. You're not going to enjoy the view. But when you're up there, you're definitely going to enjoy the view.
Really?
Yes.
Let's talk about your first experience in the air. Nervous hands, sweaty palms.
Not at all. None of the above. It was the most natural feeling ever.
Natural feeling?
Funniest thing ever to have happened to me, because I knew that I wanted to be in the air by the age of 6. Fortunately, a seed was planted, and I've never looked back. Growing up, my mom we lived next to the airport in Cape Town. So she had the responsibility of fetching and taking our guests that were coming in and out of Cape Town to the airport. So we always had to wait for our guests at a restaurant and the only condition she knew was that we had a window seat at the restaurant.
Okay.
So when the first time I looked out of that window and saw the airport's operations, it opened me up to a whole new world that was so amazing. And since then, I've never looked back.
Wow, that's impressive. And let's talk about you. I've struggled with your name, so I'm going to give you an opportunity to say it loud and proud.
Yeah. So my name again, Bungotlo.
Okay.
Bungotlo Mutiu. So I'm not a pilot.
Okay.
I'm actually the technical part of the aircrafts. I'm an aeronautical engineer.
Okay.
So basically, what we do, we just make sure that the plane is actually ready, and we also tend to deal with the performance of aircraft. How I fell in love with engineering basically was, growing up, you always try and find your feet, like what you want to do. One of the aspects and characteristics that I had was being creative, and the creativity, and also in school I was a performer, with mathematics and physics.
Okay.
So engineering allowed me to combine these two characteristics, and that's when I knew I wanted to become an engineer. With aviation, it was a sense of, I was amazed as how people use maths and physics to, get aircrafts into the sky. So that's how I got into.
Right. We talked about responsibility, people's lives. You're actually at the heart of the matter.
True.
What does it take to get a plane ready?
Firstly, it takes many sleepless hours. It takes dedication and confidence. You need to be confident in yourself, in the sense where when you're doing your calculations, you need to know exactly what you're doing.
Mm-hmm.
You can't fumble, and you also need to be a good team player, because you need to trust that your fellow colleague knows what they're doing. They need to trust that you know what you're doing, because at the end of the day, it's a teamwork. Sometimes the project can take months to make sure that the plane is actually prepared properly. So it is dedication, and you need to always have that vision. So you need to be very visionistic.
Now these guys, they have an initiative for professionals under 25. I'm a bit worried if I'm going to put my life in the hands of young people.
True.
To that, you say what?
Look, I feel that the reason we are where we are today is because of passion. And also, like I said, with the trust and trusting that these people know what they're doing. We get our qualifications from trusted institutions worldwide. So if a trusted institution can actually say, no, this student has the ability to do this, I feel that the average human being should actually also have their faith to be like, this person has put in the time, they have put in the dedication, and they are of a certain standard.
Okay. All right.
True.
Gentlemen, I'll let you have the floor. Tell us about your initiative. This is the ACA, what it's all about, the challenges, and what you're trying to bring to the table.
All right, so we have an initiative called the Young African Aviators. Okay, so we're running a non-profit organization, and what it basically entails is we're trying to build the gap between qualified pilots and unemployed pilots. So technically, we have, I'll just give you a round figure. There's 3% black pilots in South Africa.
3%?
Only 3%. And the majority of those people are just purely not exposed to the resources to get them into the air. So what we're trying to do is pretty much get the qualified people, or those that are just about to qualify, into the air. How we're trying to do that is by having a charter company. So charter company will help them build the necessary experience which they require for airlines, your typical airlines in South Africa, and possibly expand initiations. So basically get people into operations, safety, and not just flying. So like he said, he's an engineer. We want to have flight attendants. We want to have tower controllers, AMEs, and so forth.
Okay. And can you tell us about the cost it takes to become a pilot? What kind of financial investment does it take per family?
Oh, per family, it's quite expensive, hey? But then it's possible. Not to say that expense should be something that holds you back from actually pursuing your dream. Starting from, there are different licenses, right, in terms of becoming a professional pilot, captain someday. So it's all determined by these bars that you see on our shoulders.
Right.
Starting with the first one, which is when basically you go...
I just know you've got two, he's got
Yes.
3.
Yes.
Tell us about that.
Starting with your first bar, usually the schools give it to you once you're a student pilot, or maybe you go on your first solo flight. And it usually costs about around 20,000 jobs. Yeah, because yes, or take it to 40,000 because inflation every year, prices go up. And going into your second bar, which is a private pilot, which we are, it will cost you around minimum of 110,000.
110,000.
110,000, yes. That's only the minimum, because then the prices increase as well if you a slow learner, say, whereby you repeat lessons, you take longer to actually grasp something, but at the end of the day, you get it.
I got you.
Yeah, it's overwhelming, but you get it. And then the third stripe, which is a commercial pilot license, now you're not taking it as a hobby, you're taking it as a professional career. You want to see yourself in the airline someday, and that would cost about a minimum of 320,000 rands. Yeah, on its own. And the ATPL pilot license, usually what most pilots do is that after their commercials, usually get a job somewhere to build those hours, because you need a minimum of 1,500 hours for your fourth bar.
Wow.
Yeah, and that fourth bar actually certifies you as captain for a specific airline.
Right.
So, yeah.
So the maximum number of bars you can have is what?
It's four.
It's four.
Yeah, and
wow.
in the airlines, usually what I've noticed that you even get stars.
Stars.
Yeah.
So you're almost there. I was about to ask you young ladies, these gentlemen have already made it clear 3% black participation when it comes to becoming aviation.
True.
I can imagine it's even worse for females.
Yeah.
It's lower.
It's getting better. From where we were yesterday, definitely today is a better day. And with organizations such as these young guys that go into communities that are disadvantaged, spreading the word and telling young people that, look, it can be done, that now is your time, and there is no challenge that should be bigger than your dream, that you can achieve anything that you put your mind to. In cooperation with such organizations, and for example, organizations that are structured by the government, programs that are structured by the government, like the South African Civil Aviation Authority, which is a much bigger organization than these guys, but are looking for young people that are making impact in their communities. They're organizations that are willing and able to assist, because we want to be a young people. This is our month.
Okay.
And the message that we want to send to young people is that this is our time. There's no better time to be a young person in South Africa, that every day you wake up with the mentality that this is my time, and seize your moment, because programs that were there yesterday, they failed perhaps, but they were then restructured and made better. So the rate of failure with the support that we have as young people at present is this big. So it is possible, and don't let anybody tell you otherwise.
Right.
It's not about being a pilot. If I wanted to be a teacher and woke up and was able to achieve that goal, that for me would be the most spectacular thing, because not everybody wakes up to go to their day job and it's exactly what they've always wanted to do.
Wonderful.
So
wonderful.
achieve your goals no matter what the cost. Don't put any amount of price on your dreams as a young
Well
person.
said. I want to ask the young lady, I see you've got 2 bars right there. What challenges have you been through, and what have you overcome to get to where you are?
First of all, flying is not an easy thing. Every time when you wake up and you go to school, okay, well, I was still a student pilot, I would actually go to school almost 2 times in a day so I can push to get where I want to go, because I wanted to achieve most of the thing at a certain age. I'm 20 years old, and my goal was to achieve maybe to obtain my commercial at the age of 21. So I would go to school almost every day in this winter. Like right now, the weather is so perfect in winter. It will be so cold, but I'd wake up in the morning at 7 a.m. I'd be at school to fly so that I can achieve what I want to achieve. And one more thing is when you're in the air, and then when they teach you certain exercises, and then you don't understand what's happening, you get so stressed out. You see another student going solo, you are just there, you ask yourself, is this really for me? I've been asking myself that question over and over again. But what I told myself is, if I want to do it, I can do it. Because the only thing that is going to stop me from doing what I want to do is myself. And the only thing that is going to make me achieve what I want to achieve is myself. I kept on pushing until I got my private pilot. And I told myself, that was last year, I told myself I also need to achieve certain things before the year ends. And then I pushed forward. I told myself I need to do my night rating. That's another exercise that we do after obtaining your private pilot. And I actually did it in 3 weeks. That is something that you can do in average of 2 to 3 weeks.
Right.
And I told myself, whatever obstacle that is going to come, I'll have to do everything by all means so I can achieve whatever I want to achieve.
Sorry,
Unfortunately, we were out of time. We have to reschedule to do this again. But in closing, I just have to say, South Africa is so proud of you. We've run out of time, but hopefully we get to interview you guys again. Job well done, and reach for the stars.
Thank
and
you.
let the sky be the limit.
Thank you very
Thank you
much.
very much.
Thanks for having me.
All right.
Thank you.
All right, we're going to go to a break now. You're watching Afro Breakfast on Afro Worldview. More news coming your way after the break. Stay tuned.